Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Jill with At Home with Jill, and in this video we are going to be starting to tackle my son's room. It just felt so incredibly crowded. I could not handle it anymore. I really have been wanting to put the piano in the closet, and so I was gonna make a video this day and film all of this, but I ended up not getting to it. So I ended up just clearing a path, and my husband moved the piano into the closet for me. And I did not get that on video, but this is kind of just a before video that day. This was literally I don't know. I think I took this footage in August, maybe. I'm not sure. But now I'm just getting started on stripping the sheets of this bed. I needed to get this bed out of the way for him to move the piano and stuff. And Cade was starting to get some stuff out of the way. Okay, now this is a complete different day. The piano's in the closet. The sheets are back on the bed. I don't even know how long later this is, but now I am getting their old bunk beds out of here so I can start building their new bunk beds. And as I'm editing this video, I seriously can't remember if I already put this footage in a video. I'm trying to think, have you guys seen the beginning of this new bunk bed stuff? Because I started building their new bunk bed and then realized I didn't have enough pieces. I remember telling you guys that because I remember you guys commenting about it and asking if we've gotten the right pieces yet and stuff like that. But I can't remember, did I show this process in a video? Because I couldn't find it, but it kind of felt like deja vu. But anyway, I'm just getting their beds out of here so I can clean their room and make room for their new bunk beds. I'm so excited about them. So I got them. I probably already told you guys this, but I know I have some new people here too. So I got them a brand new set of bunk beds in its box still for $75. And I sold these old beds for $40. So someone came and picked up the old bed frames for $40 for both, not $40 each. I wasn't trying to rip anybody off. I posted what condition they were in. I put pictures of how ugly they were and how there was pencil drawings all over them and everything. I posted pictures of every flaw that they had and sold them 2 for $40. So anyway, it's I got their new bunk beds for $35, really. So that is pretty awesome. But when I first went to build them, I realized it was missing an entire pack of hardware. So it didn't have all the screws I needed, which was really frustrating because I was all ready to build it that day, and then I had to stop. And then Cade was just sleeping with his mattress on his floor for a really long time. And that was kind of annoying too. And his room got really messy again before I got around to finally building the bunk bed once and for all. So even though I'm cleaning his room here and kind of decluttering it for him, he wasn't home this day. And I really like to get into my kids' rooms and kind of get rid of any trash or any junk that I know that they're just holding on to that they don't really care about. I never ever get rid of something that I know that they will be upset about. And also, I left the trash bag of stuff that I filled up for him to go through just in case. But anyway, I love to declutter when they're not here, because when they're here, they're like, no, I want that. No, but when they're not here and I declutter, they're always like, oh my gosh, mama, this is so nice. Thank you. They love and appreciate having it done. but if they're in here with me, they want to keep every last little trinket and junk toy that they got from like a prize bin. You know what I mean? So anyway, I was just filtering all of that out, but first just getting the bunk beds out of here and getting them out of my way. And then of course I wanted to throw their sheets in the wash again. My stepson is only here during the summer and then every holiday break from school, but someone recently used his bed. My niece came and stayed with us for a little while, so she used his bed, and so anyway, I needed to strip the sheets again, even though he hadn't used them since the last time I washed them. But anyway, it's always good to freshen up sheets anyways, I feel like, because, you know, dust settles on them. Like, if a bed's not being used, I feel like you should still freshen up the sheets every once in a while. Plus, like, I'm sure the kids come in here and, like, sit on his bed and, like, you know, like, I'm sure it's still getting dirty to an extent. Anyway, this is always my least favorite part of cleaning Cade's room, is when there's little tiny things everywhere. So anyway, I ended up just getting Lawson's stuff out, because like that bin and that fishing tackle box thing, those were under Lawson's bed. I just keep his stuff like under his bed, because like really it's stuff that he doesn't even use anymore. Like the past like 5 times he's come over and stayed with us, he doesn't even use those things. But I'm not just gonna get rid of his stuff, so I just kind of store it under his bed in a bin, and it's there if he wants it. When he comes this Christmas, I am going to, you know, ask him, like, can any of this stuff, you know, maybe go to the workshop? Can Cade keep any of the stuff that you don't want anymore? Like, he's about to be 17, you know, so like stuff, he just doesn't play with anything, you know. He's a teenage boy with a smartphone. So enough said, right? Enough said. And no judgment or anything for anybody whose kids have smartphones, but with our other kids, like, they will not have smartphones. I feel like when you give a kid a smartphone, you're ending their childhood, really. It's just how I feel. It's a personal opinion. All right, so other than all the crap he has to go through when he gets home, well, that's already a bag I have filled up with things that should go, but I will let him look through it. And then he needs to go through this shelf, and then all this little tedious junk that was under the bed. He needs to, you know, clean it all up. This is his Lego bin, but there's a bunch of Legos that were just on the floor. And then he has like money everywhere. He just has random stuff. And then his hamper. So anyway, and I'll have him clean off his dresser. I think we're gonna be selling his 3D printer because it just does not get used enough. But yeah, so anyway, I think I'm gonna start building the bunk bed now. Okay, so I started to say about cell phones and kids. I don't think kids should have smartphones. I just really don't. But if you are a parent and your child has a smartphone, I'm not judging you. It's just how I feel about my own family. I saw what it did when my stepson got a smartphone, which that wasn't our decision. It wasn't, like, we didn't even know he got it until after he got it. But with our own kids, I love them to be kids. My kids go outside and play together. They play together inside. Like, they're just also, I know it's different. We're homeschoolers, and so my kids aren't off at school every day. I definitely would want some sort of form of communication if my kids were at school. So I totally get it. But Cade, he's almost 13. Well, he's 12 and a half, so let me slow down there. He's 12 and a half. But when he's 13, I do want to get him one of those, like, smartwatches. Like, I know there's different companies that have smartphones or smartwatch type things that like is only for calling and texting, and a camera. I want him to be able to have a camera on his phone, but I also think like they have some companies where like there's a select few amount of phone numbers that they can use, because honestly our kids are allowed to use our phone whenever they want. If they want to call somebody, they can use our phone for that. If they want to look something up on Amazon really quick and waste their money on some dumb thing, we let them use our phone for that. And, a lot of times they'll want to look something up. They'll want to Google something or look something up on YouTube. Like Cade loves watching science experiments and learning about chemistry, and he watches YouTube videos for that. They have iPads that they use for like school and education purposes. So like, I'm not saying like my kids never look at a screen. They play video games sometimes. We watch TV sometimes. But I do feel like once a kid has their own smartphone, like an iPhone, like a real smartphone, that they are able to just be on whenever they want, like their childhood is done. Like it's over, because they no longer want to go out and play because they can sit there and look at their phone. Like it's a form of entertainment, and it's addicting, and their brain isn't fully mature enough to like handle it. But anyway, and that's like the least of it. Like there are other concerns I feel like with PORN. I don't really want to get into that in case any kids are watching with their parents watching my channel, but it's there. Like it's a matter of time before that's going to start happening once they have a phone. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about this. I know it's controversial. I love you guys. Please, I'm not judging. I'm just saying how I feel, and I hope that you will take it that way. Like if you are someone whose kid has a smartphone, I still love you. I still care about you. I am not judging you. I like to say how I feel about things, because, I have had friends who have thanked me for, giving them a different perspective. So anyway, that's all I'm doing. I'm just giving you guys my perspective on things. I know not everybody's going to agree, and that is okay, because I can agree to disagree. I do not let difference of opinions change the way I feel about somebody. So anyway, I'm just going to say that, and I will stop going on and on now. So here we are building the bunk bed, and this side, okay, the side that Rich and Cade were on, the screws were not cooperating. I know why now, because when I got to the very last step of the bed, things weren't lining up, and it's because the board I'm with right now is supposed to be on the other side, and the board Cade is touching is supposed to be on the side I'm on, okay? So we flipped those boards, and at the very end, the ladder wouldn't go on because of it. So we actually had to end up forcing the screws in, which should have been a red flag. We should have been like, are we doing this right? Oh, actually, it wasn't that bed that I just set to the side. It's this bed that we end up doing wrong. You'll see it ends up taking us 20 times longer to get that board on. The board that Rich and Cade are doing. That is the board where the screws wouldn't go in right. We had to force it. Some of the wood broke on Rich's side because we were forcing it. It was a whole mess, and it's because we were doing it wrong. But anyway, This is literally like 25 minutes later. I stopped recording and I'm just showing you guys how now they have flashlights to shine into the hole. Like, why isn't this screwing in? It was a whole thing. It literally took us like 30 minutes, you guys. Like that, I should have checked the instructions right then and looked at the stickers and been like, oh, J is supposed to go to the left and K is supposed to be on the right. You know, it would have saved us so much time. But oh well, we did it wrong. It took us so long. And I realized at the end that it was wrong. But anyway, here I am now. I think I'm about to I'm about to put on the guardrails, which I also realized I was supposed to do the guardrails first because now I had to loosen the headboard in order to wedge the guardrails on. So I just was not doing a good job of thoroughly reading the instructions, and that is something that I really struggle with because I thought I was following the instructions. And every time I do a project like this, I think I'm following the instructions right. And then something goes wrong and I realize, oh, I didn't read that thoroughly enough. So it's a whole thing. I don't know. It's probably an ADHD thing. We probably just aren't good with instructions. But yeah, so at this point I realized, oh, I wasn't supposed to screw in those bottom boards yet because I needed to be able to, yeah, anyway, you get it. You get it. Also, guys, this is totally off topic, but I just remembered that I never picked a winner for the giveaway to win one of those kitchen sinks that I shared with you guys. So after I did that kitchen sink video, is when I got sick, my kids got sick, we were down for so long, like my sickness just kept going and going because it turned into a sinus infection and I just completely forgot. So I'm going to be picking a winner today. I'm going to try to contact whoever wins. I'll probably, reply to their comment on YouTube. So if you guys entered that giveaway, just try to stay tuned. Try to pay attention to your notifications to see if I'm contacting you. So I'll reply to the YouTube comment on that video. So check those. And then also, let's see. I'll say Wednesday, check those comments. So today's Tuesday. This video is going to go up this morning. So Wednesday, check your comment on that sync video and see if I have replied to you to let you know you won. So that's how I'm going to do it. And then whoever wins, you'll email me at homewithjill@yahoo.com. Email me there. And so I can give the company your shipping address and everything so they can send you a sync. Oh my gosh, how exciting. I'm so sorry, you guys, that I left you all hanging with that. I'm super excited that I get to pick a winner today. So anyway, I love Kiki. She just crawls up on me whenever I'm trying to build anything and gets in my way, and then I can't get up and grab what I need, and she's just too cute, you guys. I love her so much. Anyway, here's the part where I realize I can't put the ladder on because the holes aren't there for the screws because they're on the other side. So fun stuff. Ran into another big boo-boo. These holes are for the ladder. This whole board is supposed to be on that side. And that board should be here. All right, guys, so now I'm just fixing the mistake. And then I did just remember that my memory card kept getting full at this point. And so my camera kept shutting off. And then after I got the mattresses put on the bed, the memory card filled up again. And I was just so over it this day. Like, I ended up not doing anything more in this room. I like turned the bunk bed around so that the ladder was facing out. Cade has been wanting to be on the top bunk for so long, which is why I decided to buy them new bunk beds, because their old bunk beds were so janky I couldn't even make them bunk beds anymore. I had to leave them as 2 beds, and that their room is just way too small for 2 beds taking up floor space. So I knew I wanted bunk beds again. I knew I needed them to be nice and sturdy. So anyway, Cade's gonna get the top bunk now, and he is loving that. But anyway, this room, their bedroom, still needs so much work. So Cade has actually been, so I did this like a week ago. So anyway, Cade has been getting in here every day and just working on his room little by little. So he's cleaning it, he's decluttering it himself. Instead of like going full force and getting burnt out, he's just doing a little each day. So after school each day, he gets in here and he's really going through like all of his stuff and figuring out, do I use this? Do I need this? Will I ever play with this again? You know, like he's asking himself these questions and he's decluttering on his own, and I'm so proud of him. He's doing such a good job with that. So this video will have a part 2. Like I will share with you guys what I end up doing in here. I kind of want to make it like a preteen room, you know, like, I mean, there's a preteen and a teenager, and Cade's almost a teenager. So I was thinking like a couch would be pretty cool in here. You know, I hate that bookshelf. I want that bookshelf out of here. I want to do floating shelves on the wall instead. I want as little on the floor as possible. So I really want to open up their floor in here. And I just think a little sofa of some sort would be really cool in here. Like a real little reading nook or something, like maybe like a love seat with a footrest. I don't know. Something. I just feel like I want to make it like a teenager bedroom, and it's just all mismatched, and I just, you know, it needs some flair. So the camera is gonna stop here, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.